how do you ask for help? Because I don't know about you, but like when I was growing up, I witnessed a mom who was incredibly capable, like incredibly capable, super intelligent, very good at problem solving, really strong and resilient, faced a lot of challenges and overcame them all. And what that taught me is to be strong and that anything is, well, like Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. So I really appreciated that lesson that I learned growing up. The one caveat I would add to that, though, is that a lot of people, and women especially, but actually that's not true, men and women, a lot of people feel like because they have to be so capable, because they want to figure everything out for themselves, they don't easily ask for help. And this creates a really interesting dynamic in our relationships because we sometimes expect the other person to be a mind reader. And we're like, why don't they know what we need? Like what I'm needing right now? Why aren't they helping me with this? And I would ask you, well, have you asked for help? Have you told them what you need? Because people are not mind readers. So even though you may know what you need, that doesn't mean that the other person does. And so asking to have your needs met or asking for help when you need help or asking for support when you need support is a really natural and not easy. It's a really natural and acceptable thing to do, but for some reason we just find it not acceptable at all. So I'd love to know, what is your relationship with asking for help? Does it come easily to you? Is it hard to do? Does it make you feel uncomfortable? Like, what happens? So the first question, so I've said in the caption that there are 3 questions you need to ask yourself. And the first question is, what am I telling myself about what asking for help means? So like, what is the story in your head about asking for help from someone? And you can change the word help to asking to have your needs met, but let's just say asking for help. So what is it that goes through your head before you ask someone for help that stops you from asking someone for help? So some examples of that might be something like, if I ask for help, I'm weak. If I ask for help, I'm being too vulnerable. If I ask for help, I'm showing the other person that I'm not capable. If I ask for help, I am not being independent. If I ask for help, they're going to see me as less than I am. If I ask for help, it just shows that I'm actually not good enough. What is that limiting story that's going through your head about asking for help that is stopping you from asking for help? So number 1, as always, is create awareness. Have awareness of what is that story for you, because we'll all be a bit different. So I'd love to know, if you're here with me live or if you're watching this on the replay, let us know in the comments. What is the story that comes up for you around asking for help? What is it that feels really uncomfortable for you? So I know for me personally, it was always around being fiercely independent and capable. So like I said, I grew up witnessing a mom who was fiercely independent and capable, and that was amazing. And like, what a beautiful role model on resilience and strength and creative problem solving. But I kind of distorted that a little bit, I would say. I mean, I do all the positive aspects of that, but then sometimes I distort that by forgetting that actually I can ask for help too. It doesn't make me any less capable or resourceful or strong or independent, but actually it's a good thing. We can't be Wonder Woman. We can't do everything ourselves. So that is, the story that goes through my head is like, but you should be able to do this. And anytime you use the word should, it is a sign that you are like processing one of those limiting stories from childhood. The word should is like a dead giveaway. So yeah, pay attention to your thoughts. What is happening around asking for help for you? Create awareness of that. That's 1. Then I ask you, is this true? So it's almost like that's question 1.A, and this is question 1.B, which is that story true? And I can tell you right now, it's not. 100%, no matter what the story is, the answer is no, it is not true. But you need to answer that for yourself, and you need to come to that conclusion for yourself, because there's no use me or anybody else telling you that if you ask for help, you are still capable. If you don't believe that, our words are going to fall on deaf ears, and that's okay. We need to go through our own journeys and our own transformations to be able to change our inner story. Okay, so question 1A is, what is the story? And question 1B is challenging yourself and saying, is that true? So question 2 is, what could I gain by asking for help? Because sometimes we spend so much time focusing on what we could lose that we don't think about, well, what could I gain? So what's in it for you if you ask for help? What are some possible wins that could come up if you had to ask for help? And I'll name a few for you here, but feel free to share some in the comments. Amy says what? So some possible gains from you asking for help is A, you don't have to do everything yourself. You can get some help. Wouldn't that be amazing? Another option, 2 heads are always better than 1. Like when you get multiple people coming together and all thinking together, like you're gonna have some amazing ideas come up. Obviously, like one person thinking hard versus a group of people thinking hard, or even just 2 people thinking hard, like there's more brain power involved. So of course there'll be more ideas, okay? So what can you gain from asking for help? You can get more ideas. You can lighten the burden on yourself. You can increase your energy because now it is shared out with other people. It can help you connect with others because, you know, some people enjoy being trusted with the help that you're seeking. So it can really help you build authentic connections. What else can it do? It can allow you to be aware and honest about your own limitations, or highlight to you perhaps some missing skills that you can then go out and learn. So like, for example, I'm not a copywriter, okay? So like when I put my posts out or when I write my emails, a copywriter would be someone who would write all the text or who would write the post. I'm not a copywriter. I've had to figure out how to do that. So what I could do is say, well, I'm not a copywriter, so I'm going to outsource that to a copywriter. Or I can say, okay, well, I'm not a copywriter, but I'm doing copywriting, so best I teach myself how to do that and let me upskill myself. So sometimes asking for help can help you figure out like where your gaps are that you can then go and either outsource to somebody else, ask for help, or learn how to do. And you might be learning that from someone who knows how to do it, asking for help. So it's a good thing. Okay, so question 2 is, what can you gain by asking for help? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a heart. Does that make sense? Do you think that's something that you could try out? And then question 3. I had a big bowl of oats for lunch. I just felt like a creamy, like gooey, oaty lunch. So still sitting in my throat. Anyway. Question 3 is something that we don't always consider. And that is, how could me asking for help benefit the person I'm asking? So I don't know about you, but I am a natural people pleaser. I like to make other people happy. I like to bend over backwards to make other people happy. So often when we think about asking for help and we're hesitant to do it, we're focusing on ourselves. But it's actually quite a gift to ask somebody for help for them. It's a gift for them. I mean, think about when somebody does ask you for help. How does that make you feel? It makes you feel capable. It makes you feel knowledgeable. It makes you feel like a good person because you're able to help them. Obviously, depending on the nature of what they're asking for, maybe it could also be a bit of a pain. But, you know, we're looking at the positives here. So when you ask somebody else for help, you are helping them feel good about themselves. So it's like a two-way thing going on there. And I can give you a real life example about this. So when I was working for Contiki, I became a team manager in my season when I was up at our campsite in Rome in Italy. And it was my first time managing a group of people. And I remember when our supervisor came through on a field trip, she sat down with me and she was like, Kirsty, you have the most incredible team of people. I was like, I know, they're such hard workers, they're good people, they're funny, they're smart, they're like helpful, they're kind, like they're hilarious, like what an awesome group of people. And she's like, but Kirsty, every single day you disrespect them. And I was like, excuse me? What do you mean? And she's like, every day when you choose to do everything by yourself and not ask your incredibly capable team for help, you're sending a message to them that you don't value them. I was like, what? It really took me a while to internalize what she was saying, which was actually spot on, which was, and this, I guess, particularly applies if you're a team leader or manager or something like that. But I guess you could apply it to any context. But it was like, basically, if you've got a group of capable people around you and you're insisting on doing everything yourself and you're not asking those capable people for help, how are they going to feel about that? They're going to feel undervalued. They're going to feel unseen. They're going to feel bored because they're not being challenged. Like, you owe it to them to delegate, to ask for help, and you owe it to yourself because you're going to reach burnout. And that's exactly what happened to me that first time being a manager. Is I totally reached burnout. I was like exhausted. I remember, like, I think I gave myself my first day off of the summer season in July, and our season started in April. So like literally didn't have a day off that entire time. So I felt like I had to bear the burden of everything so that everyone else could have some time off. And they were like, let us help you. We want to help you with stuff, you know? So it's quite a gift to other people to ask for help. So those are the 3 questions that I'm offering to you if you are someone who struggles to ask other people for help. This will strengthen your relationships. It removes ego from the equation, which is always a goal. And it strips you down to like who you really are, which is a person in a system. And every part of a system like connects with the other parts and needs help from the other part. Yes, you can figure it out and do it all by yourself, but then you're going to lead to burnout. You're going to feel resentful because you're like, why aren't people anticipating my needs? Oh, because you never shared it with them. And that's going to cause conflict in the relationship because that person's going to feel unseen, unvalued, and probably quite frustrated, because if you're getting frustrated that they're not meeting your needs, even though you haven't told them what your needs are, you're probably going to lash out at them at some point, and then they're going to feel attacked. And they're like, but I didn't know you needed help. Like, I'm not a mind reader. Yeah. So a big part of relationships is communication. And asking for help is just one small way that you can communicate with someone and say, like, struggling over here, help. And the last thing I want to add to that is asking for help doesn't mean giving up responsibility or accountability. Asking for help is saying, I know the 2 of us together can figure this out a lot better than if I were doing it by myself. So sometimes what happens is if something's too hard, we give up and we go, oh no, it's too hard, I don't want to figure it out. And we basically just like hold our hands up and say, nah, your problem now. And that's a different thing. That's very different to asking for help. That's like shifting responsibility and accountability and blame and all of that. So that's definitely not what I'm talking about. I hope you can see or hear the difference. Yeah. So I hope this has been helpful. Let me know if it has. So question 1 is, what is the story that you are telling yourself about why you can't ask for help? That's 1A. Question 1B is the story true? And I can tell you right now that it's not. But you need to reach that conclusion on your own. Question 2 is, what could you gain by asking for help? And question 3 is, what could the other person gain by you asking for help? So think about that, reflect on that, journal about that, meditate on that, and see what comes up for you. And we'd love to see what you come up with and what your whole story about asking for help is. So yeah, let me know. Hope this has been helpful. Sending you love. Thank you so much. And I'll chat to you soon. Bye guys.